Yo, real quick, before the video starts, I wanted to set the tone for the video because there's going to be a lot of criticism throughout this whole review, and I wanted to reference someone in particular that's going to kind of, explain how things are going to go here. So for those who don't know, there is a guy by the name of Anthony Fantano. Now, he is a quote-unquote music reviewer. I don't watch him a lot, but I get his kind of, I get his vibe, if that makes sense. And his whole thing is he gives bad albums a good rating, and he gives good albums a bad rating. Does that make sense? Bad albums get the good rating, good albums get the bad rating. That's kind of how it goes because, he's kind of like Finn McKenty, where he's just doing this for money. That's kind of that's the thing, right? And if Anthony Fantano were to review this album, he would give it a 10 out of 10. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today, we are going back behind my Spotify. This time around, we are going to be reviewing a new album that just dropped from a new artist. First album from the artist. We are going to be reviewing Lost Without Hope by A Timeless Tide. Now, to start this review, we're going to start by giving the rating for the album, what I think the rating deserves. And it's pretty harsh. Well, I don't know if it's harsh. It's like probably, it might be the lowest rating I've ever given an album on this channel. We're just going to start with the rating and kind of go into things from there. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 for this album. And I'm going to explain why throughout this entire thing. Okay, so without a further ado, let's jump into it. So this album, man, so the person who made this album, S Future, the dude who, when he announced this project, when he announced he was making music, I was kind of skeptical because I was like, well, that's really ambitious for someone who does reaction content. But also at the same time, I was intrigued because there's a lot of solo artists who create incredible work. And I was intrigued because I was like, well, can he pull it off? And can he create something incredible? And I'm going to hold my tongue here, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. And to kind of start things off, I want to talk about why I'm giving the album a 5 out of 10 to start. So my reason for giving the album a 5 out of 10, just from my main reason, is because the 5 points that this album gets is in the instrumentation. That's all the points this album gets. The instrumentation is the only good thing about this album. There's nothing else that's really good about this album other than the instrumentation. And it's like when the first song of this project got dropped, and I don't remember which one. I think it was Pay the Price, but I'm probably wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. When I first heard that song, I heard the instrumentation. I was like, okay, this is a really good start. And then I heard the vocals, and dude, let me put it this way. So, for those who don't know, that are regulars of this channel or not, I put out my first song this year, and I've been writing music for about, I want to say 4 years, maybe 5. I want to say 4. I think it's been 4 years. And I put out my first song this year, and it took so long, I think, because like I just wanted to write and then work on production, vocals, all of that sort of stuff. I feel like I've worked on my vocals long enough to where I don't think it sounds like complete and utter trash, and I think I've practiced enough to where I'm confident in my vocalization. When I heard this album, and I heard the instrumentation first, and then I heard the vocals, I immediately didn't listen to the rest of the song because I was like, this is not good. It's not. And the vocals are my biggest issue with this album. And I wish like, I don't know. I really wish S Future like actually put time into practicing vocals, even going to a vocal coach. I've never been to a vocal coach. I've never had vocal training, but I think just from what I hear, it doesn't sound good. And dude, people can go from sounding good to from sounding bad to sounding good. It is possible. And then there's some people that like aren't meant to sing. You know, it is what it is. It's, you know. But when I heard that first song, Pay the Price, like I didn't like the vocals at all. And I kept hearing, like, I think he dropped a few other singles. I think, I'm going to guess here. I think No One Cares was dropped, and Miss You Again. I think End That Way as well. It's kind of, it's a little fuzzy because I listened to a couple, but I listened to a couple of the songs, and I didn't think the project was ever going to like come like fruition. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it was just like seeing it drop this year. I was kind of like, well, man, now I have to listen to it because I need to know like if it actually sounds better or worse than when I first heard it. And so I listened to the entire project all the way through. Usually when I listen to an album, I'm playing like Marvel Rivals or I'm playing something in the background. Like I listen to music and I'll just play a video game with it. And I gotta say the it's worse. It is definitely worse. And the instrumentation's fine. The instrumentation is it's the only thing that I liked on this album because it's clean, it's done well. And I do have like production issues, but we will get into that. But still talking about the vocals here, the vocals sound worse than they did when Pay the Price first came out. Because when you look at that song, like I don't know if the original song when it first got uploaded is still up. I don't think it is, but if it is, go listen to it and then listen to the one on Spotify. They're completely different. And maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I don't think I am. I swear to God I'm not. But I listened to this album in full, and when I heard I'm Still Hurting, and this is another positive, but I'm not gonna add a point. But my positive here, when I first heard this song, I'm Still Hurting, I was like, okay. Like, I thought it was an intro song. I thought this is an intro. The vocals will not sound like this the entire time. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, for 14 more songs, the entire album sounded like that. I'll describe the vocals to you if you're not going to listen to this album, or if you're like, you're just curious, if you want to know what the vocals sound like. So I don't know. I don't want to like this. The only way I can describe the vocals is if you're doing like, if you're like, it's weird. It's like that. They don't sound like that, but it's close enough. It's close enough. That's what they originally sound like. But imagine that vocal tone, and you put it into a tank of water. You put like a laptop in that tank of water, and then like you cover that tank with a cover. The vocals in this entire album, I don't know what happened, but the vocals on this entire album are watered down so bad. They are so robotic, so overproduced, that the original vocals that I didn't like got even worse. Dude, and not only that, not only are they watered down, they're robotic, but the instrumentation is so much louder than the actual vocals. Like, I can hear the vocals because I have like Audio-Technica headphones. I can hear the vocals. They're there. But it's really hard to see. Like, I was paying attention more to, it's almost like you, like, because I was paying attention to instrumentation more than the vocals, but it's almost like you buried your vocals underneath the instrumentation. And when I finished the album, I was like, this should have just been an instrumental album. I don't know why it wasn't. I think there should be an instrumental album at some point. S Future, if you're watching this, release an instrumental version of this album without your vocals, because I guarantee you it'll sound 10 times better than the original project. Now, there are some songs on here that I think, there's some songs I don't understand, because I understand Miss You Again, because I think that's about his partner. Because they did like Long Distance or whatever. But then her Holy Touch, I don't understand. When I listen to No One Cares, I'm pretty sure I was one of the singles that released. When I heard this song, I was like, well, the song does fit with the album. I don't know if anyone really cares about it. I cared enough to listen to it because I was curious if this actually sounded good. And like half of it does. The instrumentation half, but man, I'm let down by this album. You can't see, obviously my cam's blocking a lot of stuff, but yeah, I'm really like disappointed by the album. Like, and a couple things like because I think it's interesting to me, at least, like, because S Future, he posted something when this album came out. He said, I'm well aware it's not great or even decent, but I'm proud and happy to have my first piece of music out there. So here's my problem with this. And I don't know, man. It's like, I think if you, like, this dude has been working on an album since the same time I started, like, writing music, but I've only put out one song, and that was this year. If you're well aware that this album's not great or even decent, why did you put it out? Like, why didn't you spend those 4 years? Like, here's a scenario, right? You spend those, like, 4 years writing, but at the same time, you spend those 4 years with a vocal coach or trying to make your vocals sound better. Like, you have to hear your vocals. Because I've listened to my vocals, and over and over again, and there's stuff I've sang that sounds bad, but there's stuff I've, like, done vocals for, and it sounds pretty good. It's so hard to believe, like, you put out something that you know doesn't sound, like, really, really good. You still put it out. Here's the thing. And to be proud of it, I don't know, maybe, like, I think you're proud of the lyrical content, but you cannot be proud of the vocals. I don't even know if he did the instrumentation for this, because I think he's pretty young, but also you can see the credits on here for the project, and he's not the one who did the instrumentation. I was thinking about that in my head after I listened to this album. I'm like, okay, with how his vocals sound, and if he did the production on this, I don't know if he did. It's this guy, Jacob Lazat. He didn't do the instrumentation for it. I thought, like, maybe he had, but I was like, there's no way. And he didn't. But my thing is, right, I don't see how you can put this out, like, put out a project you're well aware that it's not great and it's not, or even decent. Like, I'm gonna make a comparison here, because the guy does reaction content, right? You can put out a reaction video over and over. Like, you can keep making reaction content, and, like, you can be well aware if it's not great. It's not, you just put out the reaction content. Like, you put it out regardless because you're hoping someone will watch, right? I think music is different, because I think music is something you craft, it's something you work on tirelessly, and you want it to sound as good as possible. Because I look at YouTube and Twitch and all that, like, and I do the best I can with what I got, with who I am, right? But I put a different kind of effort into music. And while instrumentation on my end for a song I put out is not great, it's just what I wanted to do with the vocals I had. Like, I want to be proud of music at the end of the day. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's putting this out with knowing that it's bad is crazy. I think this should have had more time in the oven. I think this should have cooked longer. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't have put this out. I wouldn't have. Because to be honest with you, like, my first album probably won't be out until next year because it's time, it's a matter of like recording vocals, doing production on that stuff, and wanting to put it out thinking it's ready. It's all a lot of different factors, but man, I would have let it cook longer. I would have redone the vocals. I really would have. And I would have held on to the lyrical content, because the thing is, your lyrics evolve over time because you think of other stuff that you want to talk about. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. This album, it shouldn't have come out. What I do recommend is putting out an instrumental version, and I guarantee you that will do better than without the lyrical content. It will do better, I guarantee you. But some other things I want to critique on this album, and they're little things. I don't really connect to any of the songs at all. Like, not a single one. Not a single one. And I was trying, like, with music, you want to find connections. Like, that's a reason I listen to, like, NF. Like, there's a lot of different artists I listen to, but, like, NF's lyrical work is really good. You try to find connections in music, and I didn't connect to a single song on this album. And another thing, song length. Songs are all super long, and dude, because I had to listen to this album full to see what I thought and do a review, yeah, even with the song length, I was just like, I was waiting for songs to, sounds bad, I was waiting for songs to end. I really was. And with an album, if you're waiting for a song to end, that's not good. That's not good at all. And I don't even remember, like, if I had to go and look, I don't remember how long my first song is. I think it might be a little over 3 minutes, but I think that's like average song length. But another thing, and this is kind of like a weird, it's a weird one, but so it is a weird one. The number of words in each, like, thing here: lost without hope, a timeless tide, I'm still hurting, let me down, seeing me, pay the price, no one cares, her holy touch, awake at night, miss you again, end that way, as I die, to find faith, pain and games, try to change, we'll be okay, lost without hope. What's with the 3-word on everything? That's something I like, because with what I'm doing, I think every song I think is just one word, like, that I want to put out. But like, I have first album title that's 2 words, and then 2 other albums, I believe one album's 1 word and then another 2. I think that's how it, but like, it's a little thing that I just noticed when I was playing through the album, like, why is everything 3 words? I don't know. It's a little critique there, but it is a little weird that there 3 words for everything. But yeah, man, I am really disappointed with this album. And it's not that I was expecting great things from this album. Like, I don't think I was expecting the vocals to change. And then again, the instrumentation wise, like, everything was fine there. It's just the vocals. And the whole reason I'm making this review is because I don't want to write a comment that either gets deleted, gets ignored, or the S Future can't take criticism. That's another thing, because I've seen people comment on his music specifically, and I'm not going to go to the comments, but like I've seen comments where people are giving genuine criticism, and they're like he'll say, dude, the song's not bad, the song's good, the song's not bad. That's the thing, you're not hearing criticism because you're just putting on your blinders, your shades, and you're just like not taking the criticism. Or you'll say, thanks for listening. Like, I don't know, man. I genuinely, most of the time, I will take criticism on stuff most of the time, but like, this is the reason why I didn't write a comment, because I know what's going to happen if I do write a comment. But if I have my own review video, can't get deleted, can't get ignored, and he literally has to take the criticism because this video is out there. But it again, I wish this album was better than it was. I think it needed to cook longer in the oven. That's my personal opinion. And I think you're going to look back on this album in like a year or two, and you're going to be like, why did I put that out? That's, in my opinion, I think that's how it's going to go. I wish the best for you if you do plan on making more music. My two things I recommend, and you're probably not even going to do this because you don't care or you don't want to, put out an instrumental version of this album. I know you didn't do the instrumentation. I don't care. It's like, you put out this album with the instrumentation. Just put out the instrumentation without your lyrics, like an instrumental version of this album. I guarantee you will get streams because I think people like that part of the music. And then you'll probably you'll listen back to both and you'll be like, the instrumentation is better because it is someone who has producing experience. I don't know if he did the production. I'm pretty sure it was S Future, but Jacob here did the instruments probably, and the production was just really bad because the instrumentation was louder than the vocals, but regardless. And then the second thing I recommend is getting a vocal coach. Hire a vocal coach, someone to teach you how to sing. You can scream, I know that. I don't know if I even have a problem with the screams. I don't think I do. I didn't even mention that part of the vocals. But the screams, I mean, I don't know. I think they're fine being there, but the cleans need work. Even the screams, like, you need to go to a vocal coach and just like get some help on your vocals, because I don't know. I think they can get better. If I see improvement in the vocals, I will actually do another review on whatever you release next and be like, this is actually good. Whoa. But that's if you actually do that. But man, I wanted to listen to this album because I was curious to see if anything had improved, and that is not the case. This album it's bad. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because of the instrumentation, but he didn't even do that part. So it's like, should it just be a 0? No, because the instrumentation is there. It exists. But I wanted to do this review because, because I wanted to have a place where I could voice my critiques without being the reasons I said, without, having to leave a comment being ignored or someone not taking the critiques. But, yeah, that's going to be the video for today, but thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate a ton. I will see you guys in the next video, and, yeah, goodbye!